And you being in the cybersecurity like industry, like I think you're the right person to ask this. What exactly say I don't know anything about cybersecurity. Is it just hacking? Like that's what cybersecurity is?
So the simple way of putting it, and I would tweak it depending on whom I'm talking to, right? Um, when you live in a house, you have a door with a lock,
Hmm.
right? When you go to the club, you have a bouncer standing outside who checks your ID, right? And what you see is folks validating that the right people are entering the house or the club, right?
Hmm.
And when you think about the digital space, you don't have a way to do that.
Hmm.
Cybersecurity helps you do that. So think of them as the bouncers, think of them as the door lock, think of them as um, opportunities to protect yourself in a digital world where it's not physically something you can visualize and protect against.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Have you always wanted to get into cybersecurity?
The reason I was introduced into the cyberspace was honestly because I really needed a job and I was looking actively, and I found this one opportunity which opened doors into the cyberspace. And all of that happened because people were willing to trust me. They knew I did not have the experience in cyber, but they trusted that I would be willing to learn and grow in that area. So when I joined a cyber team the very first time, I didn't know anything about cyber. I literally learned it as an immersive experience through that year on that team.
Oh wow. So it was like real time,
Yeah.
straight up.
Yep. So I didn't go to school for it. I didn't really have the ability to prepare for it. I was thrown right into the deep end and I had to swim. And
Hmm.
that's exactly what happened to me in the cyberspace. And with that, I think I got to learn real time to line with the business needs. But more importantly, I think after that, I went to school. So what helped was it helped tie all of these things I was seeing in reality to why it really mattered. And I feel like that really helped because a lot of people first go to school and then they try to apply it. Mine was
Right.
a reverse education where I was thrown into the water and then I realized, oh, this is how I would probably be able to survive in that water, right? And I was able to apply my learnings in a more meaningful way. Another funny story I had to tell you, and I don't know if you know, I spent a lot of time in school. I've gone back and done a couple of courses and programs. And I feel like that's been an important factor in me realizing the importance of having real life experience. Because when I graduated from school, I remember back in the day, I was like, oh, now that I've graduated with a technical degree, next stop, I'm going to do an MBA. And most MBA programs require you to have 2 years experience, right? And I was like, oh, I don't want to work for 2 years. I want to just go straight and do my MBA. It's very important to do that because that gives you the ability to apply what you learn in your course and make sense of it. Because if you're just in school, you have only one perspective. But when you're in real world, the situations are different. The dynamics are different. The problems you're solving are different, and you learn how to apply what you're learning in a more effective way.
Hmm. That's a good point. I mean, for me, like I've always thought about um, education as important, but not as like integral part of like doing anything. So yeah, it's an interesting topic that you bring up. Like when you work and then you go back to study, you make more sense of it. You get the real time experience and you understand why you're doing what you're doing.